Hello everyone, Mitten here from Friendly Fire, bringing you another Zero Suit Mastery Guide. However, this part will be a little more general, as it will be focusing on stage fundamentals. So this will be applying to every character, but the logic and execution will be applied to Zero Suit Samus. So if you know someone who struggles with stage fundamentals, positioning, or overall stage awareness, feel free to show this video to them so you can enlighten them. In order to explain the information, I'll be using Battlefield and Final Destination stage layouts since they are the most used. Now, on Battlefield, both players start on the middle platforms, and this will be identified as the start position. Then from there, you have the ground positions, which are the center stage, the corner, the ledge, and finally high ground, which is when you're on a platform above the opponent. Then you have the air positions, which are the instances where you're either trying to land or you are off stage trying to recover. And then there's Final Destination. In Final Destination, both players start off exactly at a roll distance away from the ledge, which means you're both in no real advantage from each other. You're in neutral. This means that any small option you do can either put you in advantage, such as dashing into the center, or disadvantage, like jumping or dashing away. And I'll get on stage advantages actually right away. So the first thing you want to understand is that the most important position you want to be on is center stage. You can either be on the exact middle or you can be in the edge of the center. It doesn't really matter, so long as your character is the one holding up most of the space at that given time. Why? Well, some would say you get to move around more, others would say you simply have better positioning, and while that is true, when asked on the why, they can't really explain properly. And the answer is simple, it's simply that you have more options than the opponent. See, by taking up all the space from the opponent, you have the luxury of all the space around you that you can use up for free. You can do any of your options while moving back, moving forwards, jumping, staying in place, so on and so forth. Meanwhile, your opponent is only really able to do half of what you can do. He can do anything you can, sure, but your opponent can only do that while either staying in place or spacing himself forwards. He has that small space to work with. Basically, if he goes back, he either goes back to the ledge or he goes off stage, and he has the recovery then to work with, which just ends up putting him at a worse position than what he was before. Now, if your opponent jumps into you while you're both in the corner, you have the positional advantage. You can move away to center stage following his drift and then punish his landing, thus putting him back into the corner, and you can then go ahead and reset that position again. Now, for a more specific definition of the stage positions. Now, as explained previously, center stage gives you all your options to work with, right? Now we understand that part. Now explaining further, the corner will still allow you all your options, yes, but they are still marginally unsafe to do, as your end goal is still having to push forwards with them, which becomes predictable. Now, once you're in the ledge, you are limited to 5 main options, which are your get up attack, get up roll, get up jump, jump get up, normal get up, or a drop down double jump. These 5 main options will branch out into a lot of other options, but I'm not gonna get into that. Now, in this position, it becomes a rock, paper, scissors game, where you're guessing your opponent's options and attempting to beat them with yours. A successful victory on your get-up read results in either big damage or the reset of that entire situation. Now, off stage is the most dangerous of all stage positions, as you're the most vulnerable here, because your main goal is getting on stage. Now, typically, the off stage limits your recovery to 3 options, which are the low recovery, which ends up mostly reaching the ledge, Mid recovery, which can either be going on stage directly or going to the ledge, or high recovery, which is immediately going to stage, preferably center stage. At various levels of play, especially low and mid-level, players don't really take into consideration the space given to them when interacting in neutral or disadvantage, and the amount of time the opponent gives them free openings for them to take. Something as simple as jumping immediately gives your opponent space to work with, and gives them the opening to dash into your landing space and anti-air you, for example. Spacing aerials also falls into this category, as most of the time they have to delay their aerials so they can land without lag. This gives you ample time to run into their safe space and block their wall and punish right away. Same thing goes for dash dancing. People tend to want to punish dash dancing with a move, when in reality you can punish their dash dancing with mobility. If your opponent decides to dash dance, you can take up their space the moment they dash back. During that interval, they gave you free space that you can take up for yourself. This can easily lead into panic options from the opponent that you can later on punish. Now that you know why the center is important and all the other options available to the opponents as well, let's simplify it. Take into consideration your position versus your opponent's. You are in the center and your opponent is in the corner, and you're overthinking your opponent's possible options. Will he jump, attack, dash? How will he attempt this? Is he going to dash grab, dash attack? Well, an easier way for you to absorb and apply all of this information is using a method I personally use, which applies matchup knowledge and simplifying it. Let's take Little Mac as a very simple example. Little Mac being in the corner, what can he do right now to approach you from the center? Little Mac being in the corner, what can he do right now to approach you from the corner to the center? Well, you could say Little Mac can dash attack, run and shield, dash grab, forward tilt, among other things, right? What else could Little Mac do? He can also full hop to approach in the air, as well as double jump to try and cross you up, but these don't quite look as effective now, do they? Well, here's where the simplification trick comes in. Instead of overthinking all of these options, you can make these options simpler by breaking them down into two core options. These core options are run forwards and jump forwards. By cutting all his options down to these simple options and basing all of this on matchup knowledge, being the range your opponent has, the speed in which he can reach you, so on and so forth, you end up making it very easy for you to analyze your opponent's options and react accordingly. Look for the opponent's common approach options and simplify them to two core categories. And finally, play around those playstyles. Based on the matchup, you will pick the more likely playstyle, for example Zero Suit's playstyle being more oriented towards jumping and Little Mac being more oriented towards running forwards, and then focus your gameplay on covering the possible gameplay while using your remaining brain power on reacting to the mix-up gameplay being the latter option. So for Zero Suit the latter option would be run, and for Little Mac the latter option would be jumping. Now, using Little Mac as an example, in an example game, I'm playing Little Mac versus an opponent's Zero Suit Samus. As soon as the game starts, I know my opponent's main playstyle is jump. Because of the fact since I play Zero Suit, I also know her potential options. So I'll instinctively start focusing on jumps and how to punish jumps and landing aerials. By doing this, while reacting to the potential ground game, and overall stage control knowledge, I'll already have a very good game plan going in. Because with proper counterplay, you'll make them feel very uncomfortable, thus forcing them to change their playstyles up. You essentially cut down their entire gameplay to two simple options: run forwards or jump forwards. And then, on the opposing side, the person at the ledge will have a tougher time because they have to play around your options, which are 4 run and jump forwards, and then the opposite, run and jump backwards. Now, if the opponent is going to have to guess more at that point, because if you're in the center, you only have to consider two options, because if they do the third option, which is the backwards, they'll only put themselves into a worse position or off stage overall. Versus you being at the center, you can take more space and you can still counterplay them by going backwards. So they have to worry more than you have to worry about them. And that is it for this video. If you did like what you saw, please leave a like, comment, subscribe for more, as I will consistently be uploading this mastery series. So whether you're trying to learn Zero Suit Samus, whether you're trying to counter her, anything like that, this series will help you reach that goal, as I will be going in depth on Zero Suit Samus's neutral, advantage state, disadvantage, combo game, everything. Okay, so if you are interested in this and more, again, go ahead and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all these notifications. Now, on a side note, I am also doing coaching sessions, so if you are interested in learning more about your play, you feel you've reached a plateau and can't grow more, you want to learn overall, please leave a message on my Twitter page on the description below or on the comments below so we can set up an appointment from there. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, please leave a like, and if you're looking to learn Zero Suit Samus, know more about her so you can know how to beat that pesky Zero Suit main at your locals, please subscribe so you can stay up to date with the Mastery series, as I'll be uploading more parts within the coming week. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I do hope you have a great day.